Coach Hart here with System Basketball. This is a film breakdown on how we incorporate ball screens into your zone offense. So be sure to subscribe, hit the bell so you know when our next film breakdown is for you.
At zone stuff with ball screens because I know I get zoned a lot, and I believe that it makes it more difficult on a zone when you do ball screen it. And when I'm playing zone, if teams are just playing traditional, throw the ball to the wing, throw it back to the point, throw it to the wing, that type of zone offense, I love it because it's not very difficult to guard. I think it was Bobby Knight. He doesn't like dribbling, but he believes in dribbling more against zones than he does against man-to-man. So what I try to teach my guys in zones is to be 2/5 of the zone. You're very rarely going to get all the way to the rim. So I was going to go over some philosophies of stuff. I have some stuff. I think Kurt has a few things too. Just to get some talk and ideas of what everybody else is using. I have some clips of college men teams and college women's teams. And a couple of them use ball screen flow or whatever you want to refer to it as, almost like a zone continuity. I also have a diagram of a zone continuity for you too. So that's what I have. So I got some clips. So I'm going to bring them up here for you and get started here with some content for you guys. So first, let's make sure. Okay, that's the end. So first team up is Florida, Mike White. So this is just straight out of flow, guys. And there's a couple types of screens that you could do. You could do outside screens, middle screens, and inside screens. And if you need me to go over that, I can. I can go over with the board real fast, or if you got it, let me know. If you have questions, just unmute yourself, stop me, tell me to rewind that, or you have a question about it, and we'll see if we can get an answer for you. My whole thing on offense, guys, is no matter whether you're playing man or versus zones, if you're not creating closeouts. So on that first clip, we're trying to, okay, he got in the teeth, he snaked it, and now he threw it, found the open man. That created a long closeout. If your offenses are not creating long closeouts, you have a crappy offense. You're gonna probably hear me say that a lot. Okay, so there's that, off that, and then he just decided to shoot a three. Okay, so this is against Kentucky, SEC, so they're in a high 2-3 zone, maybe even a matchup here. This looks like more like a matchup. Okay, here, this is just bad D, but here's your read. He put the bottom defender. The ball screen got 3 guys guarding the top, 1 guy in the bottom, and nobody in help because the center's so worried. So it's making this bottom defender have to play 2. It's a numbers game against zones. Okay. Just an alley screen, middle screen. No real advantage here. So this is going to be a continuity where they just keep setting them. Okay, they try to post. Now this is a double screen. Guy cut back door. Okay. These are tough shots. Don't really recommend them. Okay, Vanderbilt. High 2-3. So they just switched. So if they're just switching, you should have a 2 side. So you got wings, so that makes that bottom guy come. They're going more 5 out. Now they're diving the guy to the rim. They didn't get what they really wanted. They wanted a one more pass. They defended it fairly well. So now they're going to reset it and run it again. And he rejected the ball screen. Uses it. They just switched it. Okay. Really long possession, but they just keep running ball screens, and they do get that's a tough shot. So they're running their continuity. Florida runs continuity ball screens. Just kind of running their man stuff against the zone. Love this action. Let me play that again for you. So they got the ball. They got the ball inside. Flatten the zone. Worried about the shooter in the corner, so that opened up the blocks. Or some of them might have been tagged as zone, but they weren't really in zone. So this is zone, just a switch. So now you got the 3-on-2 on the weak side. Got a post on the block, a wing, and a corner. So now you got 2 guys guarding 3 players. These 2 guys having to guard 3 players. They're not going to be able to bump to this fast enough. So it's either a shot or one more. And now he probably has a drive or a post feed or a shot. That's the ideal thing that you get with the ball screen if they're switching, is you want to have the three guys on the weak side. So this is Florida still. A lot of alley screens up in spots. One more pass. What I really want to show you guys is how the guy on the wing kind of pauses to get the bottom defender up.
Motorcycle 22874.
So there you go. Watch how he just kind of holds it, makes the correct read, and now that center cannot get to that corner. So it's one of 2 things that are going to happen. You're going to have a shot, or you're going to have a blow by. Okay, 2016. Big Beilein fan. I was really didn't know what he was thinking when he went to the NBA, just maybe wanted to do it. But if you need to study great zone offense, 2016 season, he was one of the best at zones. So I looked up all the ball screen stuff that I could find. So they're running, this is like Chin. This is Princeton, his man offense against the zone. Guy just got drived. So they're in a double high. They're running their traditional zone stuff here, and now they're going to go into ball screen. So they're going to flood. They're going to flood the weak side. Roller comes right down the middle. Now into another ball screen. And then look, it's flattened. Wide open shot with long closeout. Just a middle ball screen. Now he's twisted it. So this is an outside ball screen. Most people run inside ball screens, so he went to his strong side, and then that puts the bottom and the corner guy in a situation. A lot of us don't like this shot. If you have your one guy that you like getting this type of shot, might be something for you there. Says there are 2 guard sets. Okay, look how he's going to flood it. So the guy ran the baseline after the handoff. That's Duncan Robinson. Okay. He got a really good shot, but look how you can get the ball inside. And transition here. Kind of go handoff. Straight into a ball screen. They're just playing in flow. Just kind of so you could see how you can incorporate a ball screen in flow. Just flowing and playing. Because I think a lot of times when we play zone offense, that we think that we got to set it up and get in our 1-3-1 set or our set play. And if you're going against a zone the whole night, 5-on-5, you're probably in for a long night at the high school level. Maybe even in the college level. Just kind of just spread ball screen. It's a really good team to watch is Old Michigan. This is the team with Wagner, that's how you pronounce it. Okay, so basically it's a side ball screen with a slot, a wing, and a corner. They're doing this because the other team has just switched. He fought over the top, so it's not going to work this time. Oh, they still got it because the guy half-assed his closeout. I think this might be the last Michigan one. So they're running their rotation zone offense here. Didn't get him anything. So sprint him into a step up ball screen with the filled corner. So that makes that guy have to make a decision. And watch this nice back cut because the guy turns his head. Okay, traditional ball screen here. Guy fights over the top. So it gets 2 on the ball. And he just flowed right into another one. Didn't get up. And look, just the ball screen is creating this baseline action that you probably would not get if you were just playing traditional baseline runner 1-3-1. They still got it. Yeah, they're not always going inside ball screens. They're going outsides. And then he keeps it. It's going to create a 3 in the corner. Allowed his player to get in the paint. Okay, St. Mary's on the West Coast. It looks like everybody kind of does a 1-3-1, and then if they step their post and reverse it, now they're into a ball screen. Okay, so he has a jumper here. Okay. I mean, everybody in this room knows you got to get the ball to paint, right? Well, sometimes if you're just setting the guy there and you're not doing any ball screens, there's various ways you can get the ball in the paint. Passing, cutting, and ball screen or penetration. So what shooting does for you. This guy on the perimeter had to stay with him. Okay, little catch. This is a set, looks like. Okay, little throwback action because he can step it out and shoot it. See that again for you. Just the ball screen causes the communication. It's a little bit different to guard a ball screen in the zone. Not going to hit rollers too often. Okay. Traditional 1-3-1 zone offense, and then steps out, makes that bottom guy have to guard him. Outnumbered the zone again. St. Mary's again against BYU. So this is more of a 1-2-2 defense. Baseline runner. They had it. Okay. Got him chasing. All that you can want is the teams to run at you. You get teams running at you, create the long closeouts. So we got here. Okay, so they had already circled this on the screen for us. You don't get to watch the West Coast Conference, you're missing out. It's at 9 o'clock on ESPN on the West Coast. So that's Gonzaga and St. Mary's, people like that we get to see. 1-2-2 zone, screen the middle guy. So that makes the guy on the block in a tough situation because the ball handler can shoot. Basically turn it into a man defense. Okay. This is some great stuff here. This is a great play. This is Creighton. Let's watch that again. Doesn't look like zones, guys, but they're Seton Hall plays zone and matchups. So if you're facing matchup zones, run your man stuff. So this one's hard to tell. This is a ball screen to a flare screen. Okay, so an inside screen, the trailing big now screens the top guy. This is a play. Use a little shallow cut. They thought he was going to cut through. He shallowed to make the bottom defender. Shallow. So you got two guys kind of guarding the ball. Shallow. Can't get to the bump in time. Leaves the shooter open in the corner. Same play. Shallow got their little shooter roaming the baseline. But look at his shot, but look how wide open the post is. Okay, got to show a little Gonzaga here against a disciple of Jim Boeheim's zone. So coach here at Washington used to be an assistant at Syracuse. So this is a double. So basically kind of a horns type action with a double screen. And they did a pop. They popped the first screener to the wing, popped the second screener, and then they sealed the post. One more time for you. Okay. So the trailer swung it back. So they're in a double ball with a shooter in the corner and a post. You need pop number 4, pop the other big, isolated the post on a center, and set good screens and knock the guy down and get a shot. Outside screen. Inside screen to a seal. And this guy just gut drives it. Okay, I had to find some against Syracuse. Believe it or not, Syracuse is really good at defending them. Last year, according to Synergy, only 90 possessions did someone try to ball screen Syracuse. And we know Syracuse is probably 95% to 100% in a zone. So they're doing the flash, traditional flash, exit, middle ball screen. Think Syracuse doesn't care if you take that shot. Okay, so now I looked up last year in college basketball, Oregon was the best offensive team, so I looked them up against the zone, and they were the best zone team as well. Probably helps that you got Sabrina. Okay, horns to a rescreen, and then they pop their shooter to the wing. So you got Sabrina coming off horns to a rescreen to a roll and replace, it looks like. Pistol. Here's some pistol action. So you got your step up to your flare to a rescreen to a kick. One more. Got them all scrambling and closing out. Some handoff ball screen action, just flowing in transition. Back door. Kurt's loving Oregon because I got some Portland State coming up for you, Kurt. Okay. That's just a great player. Okay. So they got a steal. They didn't convert, and they just kind of play sporadic here. She resets, and then we go inside. So they overloaded her. And that's just, again, that's why she's one of the best. This is Portland State. Portland State up in Oregon, and they run European ball screen zone offense. So there's your side ball screen, but they didn't keep the girl high. She kind of floated into the high post. Now she goes back away. And it's going to be your European ball screen. And they keep flowing it. Just wanted to show you at least a possession of them keep running it so that they got their shot. Here it is in transition again. That's more of a set play. They run a ball screen on this side. So they play ball screen on this side, and let me annotate. And the two weak side defenders set a screen on the elbow and the bottom defender for the player that cut along the baseline here to try to get a shot. And they have slips. They have slipper to the high post. They still threw it. Okay, didn't get anything. And now they just flow it right back into their continuity ball screen. Okay, here you go. She decided to pop, and now she swings. Duck in, loved this play. They ducked her in, and then the screener dives. So if you can get that weak side to duck in, you can get some action. So let's watch the duck in. She's open right now. They missed her. They got her now. Now I got a straight dive. Okay, she rejected it. Just to show you, pressing does not stop them from running ball screens. Straight into it now. This is what you'll typically see when you overload. So you got your nice 3-on-2 on the weak side here. Big girl's doing a good job sealing. Okay, so that's what I have there. So let me stop sharing. Is anybody running European ball screen with their team against zones? Anybody ever run European ball screen, period? No. Okay. Now, what I do want to show you real quick is the adjustment that you make, and then I'll open it up for anybody else. So here's the adjustment you make if they don't switch. So you got your 2-3 zone. Let me see. Put me in speaker mode here. There we go. 2-3 zone. Okay. And we'll say the point guard has the ball. And we have our, we'll just say we're in this mode. Okay. If this player fights over, so we'll say this player screened. So if this player fights over the screen, you want to flood this side. Something like that. Because now you throw, this player can roll. Okay. So what we have in that situation, because this top X fought and guarded, if you throw it back, bottom X needs to guard. Now, they're in a good shape if you don't fill it here. So what your reads are for your team are, if you're ball screening the zone, is if they're fighting over, you flood the side that the ball screen, you flood the strong side. If they switch it, you flood offensively the weak side. So if they switch this, that means this X is picking up him. So that X needs to guard. If he doesn't guard, because you probably have a post there, and he's probably dropping if you're doing it out of a dribble drive. If you're doing it out of other stuff, you might not have it that way. This guy has to guard, or if he flattens him, you can still throw it one more there, and you have a seal. All you're trying to do is to get the bottom players to guard a wing, and you're using the ball screen to create that advantage.
Coach, we love to roll replace out of that and run that guy to the baseline corner off that same angle all the time.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know if you guys.
Mark, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Like Syracuse, they'll play their bottom guys up. So on
Yeah.
that, what you just did there, what if that bottom guy is already kind of halfway in between?
So
Adjustment?
what teams do against Syracuse is, I said you got. So these, you guys follow me? These are inside screens, right? What teams will do to Syracuse is they'll do an outside screen and do that. So now that puts this player right here having to guard two players, right? So if he stays with him, that's a kick. That's a roll. And what a lot of times what they'll do is, if they're doing out a traditional 1-3-1, is, so I got 2 in the corner, 3, 5, and 4. So what you're saying is basically they put 4 guys almost up along the free throw line, right? So it's like a 4-1 zone.
Yep.
Was that Justin?
Yep.
Yeah, 4-1 zone. So they kind of twist it. And they try to get this guy to kind of make this guy guard him. He's probably more right here. So if he steps, it's a kick. They roll this guy. And then you roll and you kind of, when a guy leaves, you fill, right?
Yep.
Roll replace.
So now you got some options. Where you can get in trouble is if they kind of trap you here. Maybe somebody has to be a release. But who's doing that to you, Justin? Are teams playing the Syracuse style against you?
A little bit. And again, Syracuse could do that because obviously their guys are 6'8" and long and lanky, so they can get away with.
I mean, I would come up with maybe something like this for that. Is maybe throw it along the baseline, throw it here, swing it first, bring this guy out. Use it, and then maybe even send this guy, or do something funky here where you send this guy and you maybe set a screen and he comes off and you throw a skip. So, I mean, those are sets. I mean, you want to try to run flow. I mean, I'd probably run, if you can look it up, I have it. I mean, I've diagrammed it before for you guys, the Kansas play that they ran against Duke, where they screen the middle guy. They do a ball screen, throw it, and this guy screens here. So after he rolls, so we'll say it's this way. So we pass to here, and we got a player in the short corner, and we got, we'll say we got our post here, and we're overloaded a little bit. So we come off, we throw. Got shooter in the corner. This player, after he throws, wants to get free throw line extended. So when we pass here, you're outnumbering the zone again. This guy has to guard. He screens the middle of the zone, so you got here. So when the ball's on the wing, these two defenders, this player picked up the ball handler passing. So you got two guys taking the ball, which you want. So those two are out of the play. They're accounted for defensively. So now this guy is screening here. So after he's screened, he's rolling. If this player doesn't really guard and he sinks in, you throw it, and now you should be able to hit here, and then this player comes here, and you're just flowing into a 1-3-1 zone offense.
Mark, you have Gaston Leva that wants to ask a question, but his English is not very good.
Not a problem. Does he speak Spanish, or what does he speak?
I
Hi
don't know
guys,
if you-
I speak Spanish, but I can try asking in English.
No problem. Go ahead, man.
My question is, I see a lot of zones because we play FIBA basketball, so
Okay.
a lot of people use zones here. And for me, the question is, like, zones here are really passive, like they don't fight too much, or they don't go like too much to the up from the 3-point line. So
Okay.
you get a lot of open shots. But my question is, against this kind of like passive zones, you can use like screens also, or do you need like the defense to be aggressive so the screens generate something?
I think you need to penetrate it somehow to make them guard. So what hurts you in FIBA as well is it's 24 seconds as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here in the States, in California, I have a 35-second shot clock, so we get a little bit more.
Okay.
You get 24. So pretty much what you if I'm understanding your question, Gaston, is, and I'm sorry if I pronounced your first name incorrectly.
No, it's okay. It's fine.
Is it Gaston?
Yeah, it's okay. It's right.
Okay. Do they go under on the ball screens? What are they doing?
Mostly people here and all FIBA, they don't use it too much like to screens against zones. Like they play by concepts, or they just use like the space that zones always give you, like a lot of space to take open shots. They just like, I was seeing the videos that you showed, and like most of the time, like the guys from like on the bottom of the defense don't go up. They just stay there. So like the defense
So they're
are
basically
not that. So
So
They
they're
are just
basically telling you,
open shots.
they're basically telling you, make shots or we're never coming out of it.
Yeah, and most of the time, when you work with some teams that don't have like these really good shooters, like you have a lot of problems against zones. So that's was my question. Like, if you can use like screens to penetrate that kind of zones that don't go to like fight to get to the open shots, like they just give it to you.
I'd probably go more to spacing.
I'm sorry, guys, that I asked this, because
You're
I know
good. You're good. This is what we do this for, man.
this is in your reality, like
Is
what
this,
you see
so
every day.
so where do you do FIBA at? What country?
I'm in Chile, South America.
See, this stuff fires me up, man. It makes me excited to have, I mean, I've had guys on here from Australia, Guam, New Zealand, and now I've had someone come on from Chile. So this kind of fires me up. It's kind of cool. So it's kind of what's kind of cool with the Zoom thing, right? Right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I would spread it more. So
Okay.
so they're kind of, no, you're basically everybody's, so they're almost doing an old school elbow 2-3 zone. Right?
Yeah, 2-3,
So,
like,
I mean,
and people don't go too high, so
I would still take a peek at it.
okay.
Bring the ball and just, so if he could get there, you basically, what you're trying to do is you still want to get paint touches. Is that what you're telling me?
Or just penetrate to, I don't know, get some like drives and kicks, or get some penetration.
Right? So I would still do it. This guy would still probably have to help that, right?
yeah,
He's able to,
Yeah.
That's a kick, right?
yeah.
And now you got your 3-on-2. We're good. Okay. So this is kind of a continuity. Most people see it out of a 1-3-1 zone, right? Or most people will play a 1-3-1, right? You guys saw a 2-3 zone. I think most of us are taught to go high-low, right? So you got your and you went away. So your point guard went away, and that sets it up. So to keep the continuity going is if 3 comes off the ball screen and hits your 2, now you got your double posts working. So your 3 pops out. Now your 1 runs the baseline. You're filling the strong side. So you're filling the weak side. And here's a nice little set for you too. Up. Dribble to the wing. Loop cut through the 2 tops. Swing it. This one might work for you, Gaston, because you get a little bit of player movement before the ball screen.
Okay.
So sometimes you want to mask it. You know what I mean? Most people
Yeah,
are really good if you just come set a ball screen. I'm going to pick Danelle's brain. I just see her pop in. She's a big time zone coach. So I'm going to pick her brain on, because he asked the question, if they're really sagging, what you should do against the zone. I told him you still set that screen. It's just set lower.
Yeah,
You
I
agree?
agree. Yeah.
Bottom line is you want to get a paint touch. make two defenders have to guard the ball. So we swing it, and then this is where the play. So at the top, you got your 4 coming up to set a screen on the top. Your 3 is dropping low. So I'm on diagram 2 of 4 here on the up. I don't know why they threw it back. So I guess throw it back because it didn't work. And then he got it back again. But now you got coming off, you're setting a double wedge. So you got one person setting a ball screen, and you got the other person setting a screen on the middle, and you're flaring your 3 to the corner. So that puts that X4 in a situation where they got to guard the player coming off the screen, off the ball screen, or preventing him from driving, because if X4 goes out to 3 here, that's a straight line drive to the hoop, because 5's sealing the player in the lane. Do people do that against you, Danelle? And
Sorry, I
and-
keep unmuting it because just in case my kids walk in. But
no problem. Because
yeah,
I
at
mean,
the end of the day, anything you can get in the middle against the zone,
Mhm.
whether it be with a drive or a pass, middle kills the zone anytime.
and I think Danelle's probably checking in to see the stuff that people are running against zone, so she knows how to defend it.
Oh yeah, we've seen it all, and
I know you have.
yeah, we've seen it all, and people definitely, obviously still score on us, and we're always trying to find ways to keep breaking it. So
So what do you think about the ball screen in the zone? I mean, are you seeing
we
it
get a ton
lot?
of ball screens. We
You're
had
seeing it a lot.
we actually I want to say Chanel Stiers at Cal State East Bay. She's their head coach. She came from USF, and she was the first one, actually them and Montana State Billings. We played in a Sweet 16 game. Were the first ones that kind of set almost like a staggered double screen.
Mm-hmm.
But Chanel set one at the wing and then one on our next person when they came off that, kind of more in the middle. And so we had to get out of our zone that game. And then, we were prepared for it, after that. But, we've been hit with that too, the single screen and and a double screen.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's kind of what I had to kind of show you guys. So if anybody wants to open up questions, anyone wants to share anything else or ideas, but I think you really need, if you're not setting ball screens against the zone, you need to take a peek at it.